Kravitz. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good evening and welcome to Great Race Plays on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your proud host, Howard Kravitz, along with co-host Pete Visco and Paul Haller. And we are here for our usual exciting fare, which is to cover the Saturday Turf Pick 3 and the Late Pick 3 at the Great Race Place, Santa Anita. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, bottom right-hand side of the screen, notification bell on the top right, and smash that like button below the video player. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. And you can follow us on X at HHH Racing Pod. Before I get to promotions on the Power Picks tip sheet and a few other things, Pete and Paul, pre-entry just came out for the Breeders' Cup. We had a great show. We just finished. This is a very exciting time of the year. But Santa Anita closes this weekend. We're going to close out with a bang on Saturday, Pete, including a nice graded stake, the Twilight Derby.
Yeah, might as well, get the bankroll up for Breeders' Cup by hitting the late pick 3, the all turf pick 3, everything we're going to give out on here. Let's get that bankroll going so we can roll it right into Breeders' Cup Friday.
Absolutely, and Paul, there's been a lot of horses working at Santa Anita. We'll talk about that in the next few days on our Breeders' Cup shows. But we're here to talk about the races at Santa Anita on Saturday, guys. Let's just jump right in. We're talking about 5 races. Because it's Turf Pick 3, 2 of them are outside of the Late Pick 3. So let's just go to this right now as I go ahead and share my screen here and get it ready. The first race we're going to talk about, guys, kicks off the Turf Pick 3. Again, this is Saturday at Santa Anita. It's the Twilight Derby. It's a grade 2, 3 p.m. Pacific time. It's a small field of 5, mile and 8, 200,000. Of course, restricted for 3-year-olds. There's one big name, Paul, and that is test score for Motion and JJ Hernandez. And let me go and refresh. Not sure if we actually have morning lines yet. We do. 4 to 5 is the morning line. Let's go ahead and bring our picks up on the screen right now. And there they are. Let me turn off one more banner. Hold on. Oh, we're good. All right. I am going 2-5-1. Paul's going 5-2-3. Pete, we are exactly the same, sir. We're both going 2-5-1. Paul, you're in Chicago with test score, taking his talents out west.
Yeah, I think this horse is pretty good. I mean, there is the danger. He's lost 3 of the last 5 and always takes money. And obviously he's going to take a lot of money in this spot. I just think this is one of those classic cases. We've talked about it many times. If you're playing caveman, pick one of them. If you want to use 40% of a 5-horse field in a caveman, go ahead. You'll see when we get to our Turf Pick 3. I landed on 1 and decided to play the ticket for a higher denomination, which I've been known to do once or twice. But I just think this horse, ran really well at Churchill, losing to Zulu Kingdom, a really good horse. Got beat a half by Riley Martin, world beater up at Saratoga, going a mile and 3/16. And, mile and 5/16 at Kentucky Downs, didn't run well, didn't run terrible, 4th out of 12. I'm not going to really hold any Kentucky Downs race too harshly against anyone. So Motion does well shipping out here, picks up a top jock. I'm going to just leave it at that.
P, he's the moto horse, but you know what? I'm going to let you speak first. I have some small reasons to try to beat him. I don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to go with Nameron, German bred for Sadler, second time in the country.
Yeah, it was a couple things I liked. I mean, I agree the test score is just based on class and based on who he's faced is the horse to beat. But a couple things about Nameron. One, when you watch that race, I don't know if you thought this. It looked like I didn't watch it multiple times or anything. Looked like got shut off a little bit, and Pratt actually had to almost not stand up fully, but sort of pull himself up a little bit. So I thought there was a little bit more in the tank last out. And again, that was Kentucky Downs, so you never know what's going on some of those. But just it was a solid enough race coming over. What I did like, that horse, when it was in Germany at a mile and a 16th, won both races. So might like a little bit of extra distance here. So that was something for me. Another thing, it's not the same. Sadler's really good generally when you're talking about claiming a horse second off the claim from like a percentage standpoint. So I know it's not the same here, but it's the second time with Sadler. I think he usually improves his horse the second time out. And I think this is just one where, again, from a buyer standpoint, the buyer in that race was a little lower than test score's best races. But from a time form standpoint, he had a 116, which is the same as the best time form that test score ran so far. So at least from a time form standpoint, they're on even terms. And that was the first race over in the U.S. for this horse, and it was off a layoff. So I think there's room for improvement here. We lose Pratt, but we get Berrios, which is I think that's fine. I think that's going to suit this horse well. So I think, again, if you're trying to beat, I did the dummy thing, and I played 2 horses when we get to our 3, but I probably wouldn't. But I just thought they were hard. It's hard to throw test score out. But I do think this is one where you can take this one and try and beat what's going to be probably an under even money favorite.
You hit a lot of points I want to make. I'll just throw a few others. As horses go these days, Pete, it's been a pretty long campaign for Test Score, right? This is his 7th start of the year. He's been running for a long time. I don't get the feeling he's improving. And so I'm going to go with a fresh face here. Only 2nd time in the state. It's been working great. Is already out west. I'll tell you what's interesting, guys. Just side note: when you look at the purse, you don't usually see 4 digits and then the K. You know, usually just three digits in the K. As that race was worth 1.8 million. Anyway, I thought that was weird, but I'm a math.
You throw around a few bucks at Kentucky Downs. You put the K in there.
I think now's the time to be test score, and I think test score is going to be 3 to 5, to be honest. So I don't know. I threw the 1 in there, guys, as a speed horse. Maybe we're not going to talk about who we like in 3rd. It's basically a 2-horse field, guys, and we'll see what happens. But test score, I think, is going to have to run a big race to win this. But Paul could be right. He just might be better than everyone else. Let's go on to the next race. Now, the next race we're going to talk about is race 7. It is the 2nd leg of the all-turf pick 3. And I need to make an adjustment here just a second. So give me a minute. It is a very interesting scenario, Pete, because they have these new ratings out. Tell everyone this is called a ratings handicap. If either one of you want to expound on what's going on right now with a rating system that they actually have over in Europe and they have in harness racing here in the States, but not really in thoroughbred. So either one of you talk for 30 seconds about what's going on in case people are not aware.
Paul, you have good details on sort of how they do it?
Yeah. So it's an algorithm. A bunch of data gets put into a computer, and they just assign a numerical rating to a horse based on. I can't say that I know every
data
point that they use. Very good, Pete. And the idea is to run horses of relatively equal ability against each other. Now, they do it in steeplechase racing, but humans actually set the number. Now, obviously, there are way fewer horses, but this is, this is very much a work in progress. It could ultimately be a good thing. Of course, they ran the algorithm, and journalism came out a point higher than sovereignty, which made people go out of their minds.
Wasn't Regal Glory the best horse? The best horse they rated or something?
And I think that's why it's a big mistake to do something without any type of human element. Because if you have a human element, you say, well, obviously, we know there's an algorithm. Obviously, journalism can't be ahead of sovereignty. Let's give sovereignty 2 more points and, whatever. But the idea is you see this race as a range of 95 to 80. So the idea is you will get bigger fields because people will know they're running against horses that, at least according to the computer, are relatively evenly matched.
The weights get distributed. If you could see, like, for each rating step of 3 allowed, you can see it up there. You get you get a pound, so you can the weights get distributed to make it a true sort of handicap kind of race. But
don't tell that to no other like you, who's 30 to 1 in a race that supposedly is fairly evenly matched horses. I don't know.
And has a higher rating than 2 of the horses,
guys,
including the favorite, by the way, Howard.
Pete, is the rating on the DRFPPs?
No, I didn't. I was looking for it. It's not on there because it's an Equibase rating,
Oh,
isn't it? Don't they do
yeah.
the rating? Does anyone know?
Yes.
So I assume
Yes.
they don't give it to any of the other past performance.
Oh, and that's excellent for the sport.
I mean, that's perfect. Because I didn't even, honestly, I didn't even know that they were. I tried to look on the entries on Equibase, and they weren't there yet when I was handicapping. But I see that they're there now.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people saying Equibase's ratings and their figures stink. And
Yeah.
it
is their product.
yeah. So
Anyway.
Guys, I will just say one thing. I believe the rating system will go the way of the dodo bird, and will not be around much for not. Will not be around. Will not be around too long. Just throwing that out there.
see, by the way,
Exactly.
I actually like it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's one of those where people need to be a little patient with it. So you
Yeah.
can. I work in data.
Yeah.
That's my day job, and you need to sort of have time and test runs to they probably should have did it, and I'm sure they did behind the scenes first to see if it comes out with the correct horses in some of these races. But I like the idea of it, actually, so you don't have as many. I'd rather have this than have like a crap load of conditions that make it harder to get into the race or make it harder to understand why a horse or how a horse got into a race. In all
I'm
honesty,
not sure the word patience is a very popular word in the vernacular of horse racing, especially handicappers. I guess we should be patient with the CAWs too, right?
Well, they've been around a little longer than they've been.
Anyway, all right, let's move on, guys. I just opened up a can of worms.
It's a
6
cool.
and a half.
I hadn't noticed the race. I didn't know if you guys had talked about it. This is the first time I think I've looked at a race that had the rating system. So that's why I was sort of wanted to bring it up as a topic.
I appreciate that. 6.5 down the hill. We're all using the 6 on top. Interesting. Who's 3-1 morning line over the favorite, the number 1 Lunar Impact. I'm going 6-1-4. So is Pete. Wow. Pete, you and I the same 2 horses in a row in the same 2 races. Wow. That might be a theme, Pete. A little precursor, I'm going to say. Paul's going 6-4-1. Pete, Spicy Bug, Ricky Gonzalez, and McCarthy.
Yeah, this one, a couple things I liked here. Again, I didn't think the favorite, I didn't love the favorite, and the favorite was a pretty low price, but this one obviously likes Santa Anita. So you saw the last 2 were losses at Del Mar. The one before that was at Saratoga. Go before that, you see this horse 3 out of 4 at Santa Anita, 4 out of 4 in the money. I like that from a time form pace perspective. This one is sort of the second early pace because her best races are when she's up close or relatively close, like stalking or just right off it. And I think that's the kind of trip she can get here. Plus, now we're cutting back from the mile, which we generally like going down the hill. And then, she lost. The last one was a solid race at Del Mar, lost to a next out stakes winner, I should say, with a 90 buyer, which I think would get that done here. And then lastly, gets Lasix back again. And this horse has run appreciably better on Lasix. So all those things sort of throw them in a pot. You get McCarthy. It seems pretty good to me.
I agree with you. Lunar Impact's 9-5. Paul, this one could easily win this race and get loose. But you have her third, but it's the 0 buyer angle, Paul. That is undefeated.
Yeah. But we talked about it on the last show. Or was it 2 minutes ago? I forget. But it was, yeah. Talk about some horses just hate Kentucky Downs.
Yeah.
Doesn't this look to be the poster child that just did not lift a hoof in that race? So he got more exercise walking on and off the plane than it was a good field too, by the way. But yeah, what I think's interesting about this race, Howard, with 6 horses in, you can make a good argument for 3 horses for courses with the 1, 4, and 6, all with 3 or 4 wins at Santa Anita. So I think that's somewhat interesting. I think I'd prefer the outside horse coming down the hill than the rail horse.
Yeah.
This horse certainly knows her way to the winner's circle at Santa Anita, and I said her. I'm very proud of myself.
She won twice down the hill too. Both were on the lead, but she's not projected to get the lead here too. That's what scared me a little bit. If you're her, because it looks like there's other speed outside. That scared me. If you're taking a 9-5 favorite.
Yeah, I think she'll just shit. Choose my language.
Oh my
6.
gosh, the Freudian slip there.
Well,
right?
she might. That horse might do that too before she enters the gate, by the way, because horses are known to do that as well, to relieve themselves
That
a
used to
little bit.
be me and my cousin Nick. That was our system in harness at the Meadows. We're like, hey, if they take a dump when they're sort of lining up to the gate, then you know they're ready. They're relaxed.
Wow. I
There
need
you
to have
go.
need a little sip of water after
There
that
you
one.
go. That's just a little handicapping tip for
Let's
any
try that
harness
again.
players.
She might sit. Just off of I'm about to go. Coincidentally. How ironic is that name? Anyway, boy, we're getting to a really bad place
Yeah,
right
so
now.
we better move on.
Let's move on. Anyway, I don't like the 4. I have the 4 third, guys. Just because I think it won't fall apart. And that's the only way that she can win. Paul, you maybe disagree. It is Freysu though, and there's no killers in here. Let's go on to the next race. The next race is race 8. Now this is the start. It's a dirt race, and there's some big fields, and this is the start of the late pick 3. Let me go ahead and we are good. Race 8 is a claiming 62.5. Wow, 6 furlongs. Big field though of 10. No, there's a scratch already. Woodbine Way is already out, so the 3 is out. It's going to be a field of 9. More line favorite is the number 5, Rousing Jewel for Nap and Freysu. Let's see where we go in race 8. Pete, you and I are different. I'm going 2, 6, 10. Paul's going 5, 2, 10. Pete's going 5, 2, 10. Pete, why is the 5 Rousing Jewel going to win?
I was going to say go to Paul first because I don't like this pick very much.
Sorry, picked you
No,
first.
no, that's okay. I was going to have to talk at some point anyway. I thought this one at least sort of dropped down to claiming 10 last time and appreciably ran better from a figure standpoint, sort of got back to the figures had sort of gone away, especially since the claim. That one sort of jumped back up. Now we're dropping again, claiming, what is this, claiming 62.5, I think. So now we're getting back to a level where this horse, where she'll be a little bit more comfortable. She gets Freysu back again. You mentioned that, but at least Freysu, I like Freysu and had been on this horse before, not necessarily with any success, but at least had been on the horse. The couple of wins were on the lead. The last 2 times this horse won was on the lead, but doesn't seem to have that same speed, or it was because she was at sort of a lesser tracks then. So maybe she was able to get the lead then, and then when she comes to sort of Del Mar and Santa Anita, she's just not fast enough to do that. So again, this is a very soft top pick for me.
I mean, she's only got a 72 early time for him though, so
yeah,
she's
it's
not really that quick anyway.
No.
Paul, you've got the 5 on top. You got the 10 in second, who I have in third. A bunch of us have in the mix. Dancing Cat, conditioned claimer to open claimer for less of a price. Lateral move, drop. What say you?
I think it's more lateral. You know, the drop is from 20 to 62, but as you said, it was non-winners of 3 lifetime to open. I think it's a lateral with a slight descent.
By the way, Howard, we don't talk about this much, but Timeform does try and help you out a little bit there. They give you a sort of a race rating, you know, in case you get confused by the conditions and sort of. So for someone who uses Timeform, you see there's an 82. So this race is rated an 82. And if you look at like Divine
right
Marina,
here in the top here where my cursor is,
and like Divine Marina there has a 69 last time, and then you could see. I don't think we talk about that much, but it's a useful tool if you're not, especially.
Well, what is I'm in a production meeting in the middle of the show. I honestly don't know, Pete. What does this number represent?
You know what? I don't know if it represents. The one thing I don't know is if it represents the quality of the field itself, or if it represents the level. It feels more like the quality of the field because you see different ratings for the same condition.
Like the average rating of the horses in the race or something?
I don't know what goes in. I'd have to look at time for maybe I'll do that for another one. Yeah, I'm sure I can. But at least it's a tool to know, hey, even though they might be in the same company, maybe they've been facing softer or better fields if you're having a hard time comparing them. That's the only reason you can look at it.
people right now watching don't know us. Like, these guys don't even know what these numbers are. Why are we listening to these guys? Look, there's a lot of numbers on there. We love time for them, but I don't know every single metric on there. I'll tell you what I do like, guys. I like a rousing babe. That's what I like at 4-1 to 2. This race is not very high quality. I'm not breaking any news here. I just want someone that's going to be on the lead. And I think Ricky Gonzalez is going to be aggressive from the inside. She was in real good form at Emerald Downs. Given time here at San Diego to acclimate, not much to beat. To me, it's a wire job or just right off the pace and wire. And just she's got back class. I'd like a rousing babe quite a bit in this spot. Like, people can have the 6 and the 10 and the 5. I don't know. Of course they can win. They don't do much for me. So, I mean, you guys have the 2 in the mix also. You don't disagree necessarily.
No, Blaine
Fair.
Wright hasn't had much success at Santa Anita. That was the only thing that sort of scared me off.
But they also haven't run a lot of 62.5s either.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I agree. I thought that horse is kind of the wild card here because it could just obviously it's going to be ascend, right?
I would think so. I mean, Ricky Gonzalez can be pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's not a wild card and what's not up for debate is our Breeders' Cup Power Pick tip sheet, guys. This is, and we have a lot of California listeners right now on X and on the YouTube channel. We have a great tip sheet, and it's only $35 if you're a current Power Pick tip sheet subscriber. If you're not, it's only $45, and it's very, very simple. All you have to do, I'm going to show on the screen, is go to our website, HHH Racing Podcast. Here's our website, HHH, there it is, hhhracingpodcast.com. The website's on the screen. You go to the top, you click the Power Pick Tip Sheet tab and the drop down Breeders' Cup Power Picks. Click on that. You find all the information, how they can purchase it, what we have on here, long shots, best bets, etc. We cover every single race, how you pay for it. The deadline is a week. And then, Pete, again, we talked about this on previous shows, and you've done a great job with this. If people are like, who are these guys? Why am I spending money? Here is what it is. This was last year's tip sheet for Friday. We have the last 3 years of 20 pages. We've had a lot of great scores, Pete. It's really profitable. It's very inexpensive. We can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just a by the numbers, here's who's going to win the races. We have some cool stuff in there, top threes for all of it. We have ABC grids. We have each race with detailed write-ups. We have horizontal plays, vertical plays. We have a ton of stuff in there. But again, don't believe me. Go to the thing, look at the example. Yep. If you like what you see, subscribe. If you don't. But hopefully you do.
Yeah. Support the channel. We're not offended if you don't purchase, but again, it's very inexpensive compared to other things out there. And we talk about every race. We have a full page of write up on every race, and we talk in detail. We spend a lot of time. I say we, our whole family of co-hosts and hosts and talent on this podcast, of which I'm very proud of. Let's go to race 9, guys. Race 9 is the penultimate leg of the card and of the late pick 3. It is a dirt race, similar to the previous race, except this is a 10K claimer on the dirt, 6 furlongs, another huge field. Look at this. How about a field of 14? Wow. There is a pretty heavy morning line favor, the number 11, Self-Sufficient, Andy Mathis and Diego Herrera. I'm pretty sure that this one will be a pretty big favorite. Gelding might even be less than 2-1. Let's see where we're going to go. We're going to go with that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to show. Jackson's not on tonight. Let's go to a different one. How about this one? Well, there we go, guys. Look, sometimes it's time. Sometimes you have to be creative. Sometimes not so much. 11.94 for me. 11.47 for both Pete and Paul. I don't think we need to talk about too much here, Paul. The 11 Self-Sufficient is going to be very tough if he runs his race.
Yeah, we talked about class in the last race, and this is a drop from allowance. Non-winners a 2 lifetime to a condition claimer 10,000, non-winners a 2 lifetime. Big drop. Ran for higher price tag, non-winners a 2 back, and was the favorite and ran second in that race. I understand anyone who says you're going to land on the favorite in the 14 horse field in a low level claiming race. I have no beef with that. I'll be using this race as part of the late pick 3, probably only. So, but I do think you can probably get by with just I'm going to try to get by with the 11 and 4. I don't know what else I need. anyone
Yeah,
else
I
wants to
don't
do
even think
pilot.
we need to talk too much about it. I wanted to wrap the show up in half an hour tonight. At 11 is just clearly the horse to beat. Feel free to look at the other horses that might have a chance here, guys. The last race of the day is race 10, and this is the last leg of the Turf Pick 3 as well. And it's a nice down the hill allowance race for Calbreds. It's a field of 8. Moreline favorite pretty big is turning back in distance. Mayakama, the number 5 for Mullins and JJ. Let's see where we're going. We're not, wow, 3 different choices. I'm going to chalk out 587. Paul's going to go to a concert and hope to see Tina Turner get to the winner's circle. And Pete has a garden party to go to. Pete, let's go to you. Why do you like this garden party? Number 7 for Leonard Powell and Herrera, 8-1.
Yeah, I thought the favorite was maybe someone you could play against here. The problem with this horse, there's not a ton of early speed. This one closes. This horse has no speed at all.
Yeah.
So we'll be closing from the clouds. So the hope is that we have to get a little bit of pace up front, and that was just my. So it's not one where I would say, play this as a single or something and try and beat the favorite, just because I think when you're closing from that far out, it makes it a lot tougher. But again, cutting back has been running consistently at 8 furlongs. Cutting back now, going down the hill. I think that hopefully then from a little bit of an outside post, so it can hopefully just get sort of an outside run and get a clear straight shot
Yep.
down the lane. Um, has a win at Santa Anita. But again, the key to this is get a little bit of pace and work a trip where she's not just too far back to make a move. But I mean, I think she's a quality horse. She always closes for the most part, especially on turf. On turf, she's been pretty successful. She just leaves herself so much to do. Like she has no early speed at all, and that's always problematic.
Yeah, I do like turnbacks though. So garden
Me too.
party if the pace develops. Tina Turner is has a lot of siblings that full brothers and sisters. Paul, I don't know if you looked at it, but the Dam Sudden Sunday has dropped some nice horses, and there's enough turf breeding. She's definitely the fresh face here for Ayuso. Only one lifetime win start, but it was a win at Los Al.
Yeah, and you're speculating on the turf, but certainly the pedigree would indicate that the turf she's going to do just fine. As you said, Howard, I have a note in my PPs. The Dam and 2 of her siblings won on turf, so I think the post is good, sitting outside of everyone else, yet not too far outside with only 8 in the field. So I think she could trip out here. We know Ayuso is one of the top turf riders out there.
Yeah.
That was a race last time. She took money, and it was a effective first out. And I think interesting that they go to the grass right away with this horse after the first one. And I really think she could get the right trip.
I only
Yeah.
had one poo stat for this, or a couple for this
We
one.
haven't had a poo-poo
I
tonight.
know, that's why I like to bring
Well,
one
we
in,
actually did. I actually
Yeah,
did
we did.
poo-poo.
Yeah,
we poo-pooed
yeah.
literally.
Howard poo-pooed.
He
Yes, right.
poo-pooed literally. Steve Knapp, he's 0 for 16 maiden winners last out on turf,
Ooh.
and then he's
That
only
sucks.
6% dirt to turf. So that's what scared me, because I thought this was sort of the wild card, because you didn't know what you were getting. And even we were talking about the Dam side. The Dam side was only 1 for 16 in turf sprints. I think some of those other wins were maybe routing. So I didn't know what to make of it, but I think there's some talent there for sure. So who the hell knows?
I will take 5 seconds on Mayakama, who's 3-2. This is a turn back, Pete, that I think is more talented than your
Yep.
number 7 turning back. It's pretty much that simple to me. I don't really have anything else to add. I just think she's very meaningfully placed here and gets JJ. She's just very likable, the number 5, Mayakama. Let's go to our turf pick threes, guys. Paul, we don't need to talk about it. Paul's going to single the 5, then go to 1, 2, 4, 6, and then go 4, 11. That is a $48 play for $6. It's a $3 turf pick 3. He's going to play twice for 48. Good luck to you, Paul. Against it's races 5, 7, and 10. So he's singling test score. Pete is going to go 2-5. Pete, I'll let you talk for a second. You are going to double up there. Then you're going to go 1-6 with 4, 5, 7, 8, $48.
Yeah, if I was going to just single in that first leg, I would do the opposite and single the two. Went a little skinny in the seventh. I thought those top two were logical. And I thought the last race, I know there's a big favorite, but I thought that last race was a little bit tougher. So that's the one I wanted to go a little bit deeper in.
Pete, we're about to do something we've never done on the show, record breaking. Are you ready for this? So Pete's turf pick 3 is 2-5 with 1-6 with 4-5-7-8, right? Here's my turf pick 3.
Oh my God.
Now
Jesus.
we've had 29 great race play shows, but guys, together we've done what 350 shows, somewhere in there, like 350, 375.
More than
Pete
that, yeah.
and Paul, I'm almost guaranteed we've never had the exact same exotic play. I'm doing exactly the same thing Pete does, although I would agree with you, Paul and Pete, that I probably should single the first leg, and I'd probably do it with the two. So Pete, you and I are just thinking exactly alike. It's a $48 play. And that closes out the turf pick 3 and the late pick 3 at the Great Race Place, San Anita. Guys, it's been a fun meet. We would need to thank some people real quick. Everyone involved with San Anita, Andrew Arthur, the director of marketing, and Jeff Chapman, giving us this opportunity, guys, to be sponsored by San Anita during the fall meet. Thank you very much to them. We appreciate it. And we hope to be back, ladies and gentlemen, for the big winter meet, which we did last year, which was a lot of fun. The quality of racing is excellent. So hopefully we'll be back with Great Race Plays episode 30, guys. And the opening day would be a Malibu day, right? Opening day, the day after
26th.
Christmas, right, on December 26th. So it's been a lot of fun. You guys want to add anything else to San Anita as we close it out here?
No, I mean, I agree. It's fun. It's fun doing these, and we did the Saturday this time, which I kind of like doing the Saturday cards as opposed. Not that the Sunday cards are bad. We had some good shows for that too, but the Saturday we get some decent races mixed in as well. So it's been fun. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been short, but a fun meet.
Sure has. We thank everyone. So I'm your host Howard Kravitz for Pete Visco and Paul Howard. And this has been episode 29 of Great Race Plays. Again, we hope to be back with you the day after Christmas for opening day of the winter meet. If you like the show, please contact San Anita, Andrew Arthur, Director of Marketing, etc., and say, hey, keep that Great Race Plays and the HHH Racing podcast involved. In the meantime, crush your bets this Saturday, closing weekend of the fall meet at San Anita. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.